The battlefield of Varkon Prime was a nightmare of fire, smoke, and chaos. Orbital strikes had scorched the surface, leaving craters filled with molten rock. Alien war machines, sleek and lethal, moved across the plains, their weapons cutting swaths of destruction through the human forces trying desperately to hold the line. Captain Adrian Cole, a human officer in the United Earth Coalition, had seen countless battles, but nothing prepared him for what lay ahead. His unit was pinned down near a supply depot, flanked by the enemy, a coalition of alien forces led by the formidable Commander Jalara of the Terran Dominion. She was known across the cluster as a tactical genius, fierce and unyielding, and ruthless in her pursuit of victory. Adrian gritted his teeth as he radioed his squad. "Hold your positions. Reinforcements are, damn it, they're moving faster than expected." The problem wasn't just the enemy's strength, it was Jalara herself. From reports, Adrian knew she led her troops from the front, often risking herself in combat to inspire her soldiers. Her armor was crafted from a living alloy, reflective and almost impervious to human weaponry. She was fast, precise, and lethal, a combination that made her nearly untouchable on the battlefield. As Adrian surveyed the field, a flash of energy caught his eye. Jalara was moving too close to his unit, striking down soldiers with incredible efficiency. A missile strike from a nearby human artillery unit went astray, and Jalara was hit. She collapsed amidst the wreckage of a destroyed mech, her body glowing with an alien bioluminescence that indicated severe internal trauma. Adrian froze for a heartbeat, understanding the impossible decision he faced. The Terran commander was an enemy, a figure responsible for countless human deaths, but the sight of her suffering triggered something in him. He ignored the shouts from his squad. "I'm going in," he muttered. Dodging debris and enemy fire, Adrian raced toward Jalara. Her guards were down, retreating after sustaining heavy losses. He reached her side, finding her barely conscious, her alien blood leaking and her armor systems failing. "Commander Jalara, can you hear me?" Adrian shouted. Her golden eyes fluttered open. "A human, why?" she rasped, pain evident in her tone. "I don't have time to explain," Adrian replied, scanning her armor for signs of life. "Your systems are failing. You'll die if I don't help." It was a gamble. Using his own blood with a temporary human-alien hybrid transfusion system, he stabilized her. The alien biology was complex, but he had been trained in xenomedicine for emergencies. He rolled up his sleeve and activated the device, sending a controlled flow of his blood mixed with stabilizing nanits into her system. Jalara's body twitched violently, energy flares sparking across her armor. Adrian felt the heat, the raw power, and the danger of doing this wrong. One miscalculation, and both of them could die. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, the twitching slowed, and her bioluminescent glow stabilized. She gasped, eyes opening fully now. "You risked your life, for me?" she asked, disbelief and something else, curiosity, flickering in her voice. Adrian shrugged, exhaustion etched into his face. "I didn't have a choice. If you die here, we both die." Her response was not what he expected. Jalara sat up, her gaze sharp and commanding despite her weakened state. "Human, your actions are unprecedented." "I didn't do it to be unprecedented," Adrian said. "I did it to survive. And to save you." Jalara's eyes studied him, piercing into his very essence. "I see honor, courage, logic mixed with instinct, rare traits in your species." She paused, the hum of her armor systems stabilizing. "And now, I owe you something unimaginable." Adrian frowned. "You don't owe me anything. You're my enemy. In this galaxy," Jalara said slowly, "allies are forged not only by choice but by action. You chose to save me. That choice changes everything." The rest of the battlefield seemed to fade away as Jalara recovered. Her presence alone inspired her soldiers, who regrouped with renewed determination. But instead of targeting Adrian or his squad, she ordered a ceasefire in his sector, a temporary truce, enforced solely to honor the human who had risked his life. "What are you doing?" Adrian asked, lowering his weapon cautiously. "Assessing the value of potential allies," she said. "Humans have been underestimated. You prove that misjudgment can be fatal." Adrian stared at her. He realized she wasn't bluffing. Jalara's decision to spare his sector gave the humans time to regroup, reorganize, and evacuate wounded soldiers. One action, his choice to risk everything, had turned the tide of this engagement. Days later, in a neutral zone aboard a joint human-alien medical vessel, Adrian and Jalara finally had a moment to speak in private. She was fully stabilized now, her armor systems repaired, but the aura of command remained. "Your species does not follow our logic, yet sometimes that unpredictability is advantageous," she said, her voice calm but intense. "And what about you?" Adrian asked. "Do you trust me now?" Jalara's golden eyes softened, a rare display of vulnerability from the feared commander. "I trust your actions, human. Your choice changed the war not just for your people, but for countless others who would have died." Adrian leaned back, exhaling slowly. "I never thought saving an enemy could matter this much." "Sometimes," Jalara said, "saving an enemy is the only way to secure the future. The galaxy is larger than revenge or fear. It is shaped by courage, and by those who act despite danger." Over the following months, Adrian and Jalara coordinated efforts between human and Terran forces. His bravery and her strategic brilliance led to decisive victories, turning a seemingly hopeless war into one of negotiation, collaboration, and survival. What had begun as a simple act of humanity, a choice to save a single life, cascaded into political and military shifts that reverberated across star systems. The truce became a lasting alliance. Humans and Terran forces collaborated on missions, sharing technology, intelligence, and tactics. And behind the scenes, Adrian and Jalara developed a mutual respect that went beyond battlefield necessity, a bond forged in life-threatening trust, sacrifice, and understanding. One evening, as the twin suns set over the neutral sector's horizon, Jalara approached Adrian. "You see now," she said, "how a single act can ripple across the galaxy." Adrian nodded. "I see it. And I see that you're more than just a commander, you're a leader who knows the value of life, not just victory." Jalara inclined her head slightly, a gesture almost human in its simplicity. "Perhaps, and perhaps the galaxy is changed, not just by war, but by the courage of those willing to act rightly when no one else will." Adrian smiled faintly. "Then I guess we're both responsible for changing it." "Indeed," Jalara said, her eyes reflecting the twin suns' fading light. "And may our choices continue to shape it wisely." As the stars stretched endlessly before them, Adrian realized that the act of risking everything to save a single life had not only preserved an alien commander but had altered the course of history. One choice, one moment of courage, had shaken the galaxy, and it all began with a simple decision: to act, despite the odds, despite fear, despite the cost.